Good morning, it's March the 1st. Winter continues its grip. It's another grey morning. I thought we'd walk down to the south part of Wascana Centre. Haven't done that for a little while. A few weeks. And it's always a nice walk. So we will have to start by going over to the lake side. And we'll walk down on that side because that's more interesting. And then probably walk back on the other side, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just walk on that side today. It's about minus 10 right now, which is what, 14 Fahrenheit, I guess, minus 10 Celsius. And again, I've got the external mic hooked up, and we'll see how long it lasts. So I continue to see if it's cold related. It's a little warmer today than yesterday, so let's see if it lasts longer today. Or maybe it'll just stay connected. It's not impossible. Oop. Well, yesterday I announced my new acquisition for Shadowpaw Press Reprise, my publishing company. That's the side of it that republishes previously published books that for whatever reason have been abandoned or orphaned, I should say, by their publishers. So I'm going to be republishing a story in verse called Stay by Catherine Lawrence, well-known Saskatchewan poet, writer. It's originally published by Coteau Books, which was also my publisher, and my Shards of Excalibur series were orphaned by Coteau and they went out of business. So this is a middle grade book. Very nice story about a family that's kind of coming apart, and through the eyes of the 11-year-old daughter who desperately wants a dog. So I'm very excited about that. And Tanya Crane, who did or Tanya, I don't actually know how she pronounces it, probably Tanya, who did the original cover art, has allowed us to keep using that cover art, which is great. Tanya is also doing the covers for the two books I'll be publishing this fall, new books, The Emir's Falcon by Matthew Hughes and Thickwood by Gail Marie Smith, she's going with on the cover, I think, or for the byline. I've actually seen some possible covers for that book last week, and I think we've narrowed it down to the one we want for the cover, so I should have a cover for that very soon. And same with the Emir's Falcon, which will be exciting. I'm waiting for Creative Saskatchewan's book production grant to open up. Hopefully I can get production grants for these books. If I can't, well, that might be all the books I ever published. So I am kind of relying rather heavily on that. Of course, there's another possibility, which would be a big overfunding of my Kickstarter. That'd be helpful for the publishing company. That launches a week from today, March 8th. That's to fund production of, well, really just pay the authors for Shapers of Worlds Volume 3, the third anthology featuring authors who are guests on my Aurora Award-winning podcast, The World Shapers, where I talk to other science fiction and fantasy authors about their creative process. I've said those words many, many times. So looking forward to that. The first two worked, and I don't know why the gimbal has decided that everything should be at an angle, because it has, clearly. I don't know why. Now it seems to have straightened out. We will walk over here by the lake briefly, even though this is not Friday when I normally walk around the lake. I just realized I forgot to turn off the Wi-Fi as I left the house, so there was probably a gap right off the bat, but that'll be taken care of in the recording anyway. Whew. So we'll walk along here as we head south, the south part of Wascana Centre. And again, it's really cockeyed for some reason. Come on, find the horizon. I don't actually know how it works, how it decides. I'd like it to point straight ahead, that would be nice. I'd like it to not be crooked too, that'd be nice. But I don't seem to be able to control that. Always people with dogs. I'm so glad I don't have a dog. I've never owned a dog, not since I was a kid. And I better remember those, the ones we had. I was quite little last time we had a dog. You don't have to walk a cat. In fact, they would object to it. Most cats. There are cats that get walked and seem to take to it, but I think you'd have to start them at an earlier age. Shadowpaw is 9. He's not going to change his approach to life at this point. Now, I'd like to be over there, but I can't wade through the snow. There is a path up here, but I don't know how well cleared it is. Taken down the rink there. I think last weekend was the last weekend for it. So the boards are gone, I see. We are supposed to get snow on Thursday, Friday. Right now they're calling for about 15 centimeters over the 2 days, mostly on Friday. That'll be a pretty big shovel if we get that much. Fire engine. Oh yeah, they cleared this path. Okay. Don't know why I thought they might not have. They haven't cleared it very well, or recently, but it's been cleared at least at some point along the way here. Cleared just enough to be slick. Now I'm actually going to not go up to Albert Street. I might walk back along Albert, but going down I'm going to stay back in the trees here a bit. So we'll take this path. Past the scenic mushrooms. Probably locked this time of year. I've never been in them. Then up here we get onto the side of the road where I intend to walk the rest of the way down to the south. part of Wascana. It takes about 20 minutes to get to the Mackenzie Art Gallery. Walk around there a bit, and then walk back. I think the last time I did this was on the first day of the Freedom Convoy, and there was a few protesters around, but not a lot. That was a Saturday, I think. Oh, squirrel. Unlike the snowshoe hares, he does not blend into the snow. Provincial War Memorial over there and coming up on the right. Names of casualties from the 1st and 2nd and Korean and Afghanistan and peacekeeping who are from the province. Still got a barricade here. Although somehow you can get in there, so it's the War Memorial. And of course the Legislative Building over here. Undoubtedly the most prominent Regina landmark. I could take a slightly different path, walk back this way, and go over a little further and get onto the, yeah, maybe I'll do that. So instead of carrying on down here, we'll come back this way, and I'll head over this way. This is not a sidewalk, I'm walking on the road. I guess this is where you get in if you're parking here. Here's the back of the ledge. Oops. We'll go down to the right here. And there goes the external mic. So again, it lasts a bit longer when it's warmer, but it doesn't last at this temperature. So when it warms up, presumably it'll start lasting for the entire walk, as it did on Saturday actually. It was a few degrees warmer than this, so interesting. All right, so back to just the microphone on the phone. One of the government buildings. This is the Walter Scott building. From the back, I normally walk along the front of it and probably will when I come back. This is the powerhouse I've mentioned before. Legislature has its own power generator here. I believe that's what's going on here. Of course, in my book, Magebane, it's set in a version of Saskatchewan. The legislative building is the King's Palace. And magic in that world requires a source of energy. So they actually do have a power plant, although it's not like this. But a big coal-fired heat generating plant from which they draw the energy for magic. Which I thought was interesting. Hello. Nume. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Numine? Numene? Depends on how French it is, I guess. If I go that way, I think I just get stuck in the snow. I thought there might be a way through, but it doesn't really look like it. Yeah, not really. So we will continue following the road. Power plant from this side. Actually, way more traffic on these roads than I would have thought. People heading to work, I guess. There's 3 in a row, 4 in a row. They must all be heading to the office building back there. I'll go down this street. I don't think I've ever walked down this piece of street. That's just a equipment building for the groundskeeping in the park. Avenue D. Catchy name. Unfortunately, I think this is a boulevard. Or is it? Maybe it's not. I guess it's not. However, I'm not sure it's very pedestrian friendly, so hopefully I don't get run over. That would put a damper on the... Actually, it is a boulevard. Okay. Should be walking on the other side, facing traffic, of course. Now we'll get over there, on the other side at least. There's actually a path here, although it's not exactly been made very accessible by the snowplows. Sidewalk comes over from here there. But again, they haven't kept them cleared. Even though it's a pedestrian crossing, they haven't bothered to open up the space for the pedestrians to cross. All right, well, normally when I'm walking over here, I'm down by the lake over there, so this is just a slightly different path. a little further south, and we'll end up on the other side over there once I get to a good place to cross. A bit further up, I think. Slick. Quite icy on this path. I looked at the long-range forecast. There is no significant thaw, like no thaw, for the next 2 weeks. So spring continues to be a tantalizing gleam in the distance. But it's not here yet. Another washroom hut here, I guess we call it. Okay, there should be. Yes, there's the path I'm looking for. On the other side. He's going too fast. It's supposed to be 40k along here. He was going faster than that. He's lucky this isn't a radar gun. All right. How long to there? 22 minutes. All right. More cleared path. I want to get way down over to my left still before I head back. So this walk will probably be more of a full hour than some. I'm so busy with things I need to be working on that it's always tempting to not walk. But if I go down that path and stop walking almost every day, eventually I might stop altogether. And we can't have that, can we? That's the TC Douglas building. Their office building also has the Mackenzie Art Gallery in it. That's the Lloyd building. We'll go by at the front of both of those buildings as I make the return trek. This is part of the Wascana Rehab Centre. Just the parking lot. Scenic parking lot for your enjoyment. Don't know what this particular building has in it. Looks like a school, but it was part of the rehabilitation center. Flying buttresses, little ones, but still, that's what they are. Okay, back over here. No smoking. Don't worry. Never smoked a day in my life. I think I tried smoking once when I was about 7 with a bunch of kids standing around in a circle, and the cigarette was sopping with other people's spit. And that was the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen. And that was it. I may have tried one other time, just one drag to see what it was like, and I realized, nope, that's just stupid. How does anybody get hooked on doing that? It's a puzzlement, as the King of Siam says in The King and I. I'm not sure this is a path, but it's been beaten into one to get you over here. Well, I guess it's been cleared, just not recently. There's the back of the rehab center, Kirk in Vancouver. -10 here today. Gray. It's supposed to be snow showers, but I don't know if that will amount to much or anything. There's the lake in downtown off in the distance. You pretty much see the whole skyline, such as it is. Right, now we'll take this branch of the path. And zigzag over to the far side of this, I think. It's a very nice little part of the park. A little more formal straight lines. Things like that. Still part of Wascana Centre. Which is the umbrella name for all the parks around the lake and stretching out along the creek. I don't know exactly where their boundaries are for Wascana Centre, but this is definitely part of it. Hard to believe in about, in 2 months for sure it'll be green. Getting green anyway. Beginning of May, well, it won't be green. Can't really count on leaves really being out till the end of May, but they'll start to come out. So it'll be greenish. The grass will turn green, you know, once it's not covered in ice and snow. There's one more walkway over there, but because of the way I did this, I won't actually get there. I guess I could. But I'm going to stick to this so we can walk by the little lake here. Which is what that'll be once the snow melts, a little pond. You can see from the rushes in it that it has water in it quite a bit of them. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, where am I at here? 29. Yeah, I'll keep going. I don't want to stretch it out to my left anymore. So this is the turnaround point. And we're basically at half an hour, so that works out. It usually has water in the spring and then it dries up by the end of the summer. Well, last year was a pretty dry summer. We'll see what happens this year. Now we'll walk down in front of the rehab center and the Mackenzie Art Gallery and the various office buildings as we head back. Hello, Colleen. It is icy in various places. Some places aren't bad, but some places are very icy. So I gotta be careful. It's actually, as I said before, sometimes it's the bare, almost bare concrete that's the worst, because it'll have just a thin layer of ice on it that's not immediately apparent. A little bit of snow actually helps. So here's the front of the Wascana Rehab. Take a pass by it. I don't usually do that, but I will today. Well, I won't go on that side of the vehicle because they're loading up or unloading somebody. But anyway, that's the front. Wascana Rehab. Of course, my story of that is performing there one day and without thinking about it, singing "Don't Get Around Much Anymore." Which in retrospect seemed slightly insensitive. Nobody said anything, but I certainly thought of it. I auditioned for Little Women that Regina Lyric Musical Theatre is doing, but did not get a part. Not what they're looking for Grandpa. It's about the only part I could play in there, I guess. And there's some other guy. Anyway, didn't get either one of them. But I'm auditioning for Globe and Persephone, our two professional theater companies, on Thursday. They're holding joint auditions here in Saskatchewan so they can both see everybody, new artistic directors in both theaters. So that'll be good. You only get one chance to make a first impression. So I'll do a monologue from Billy Bishop Goes to War, which is a show I've done many times, although not recently, and sing something. And then I've also got what's called an artistic introduction, which will be about my writing side of things. So that'll be cool. And we'll see if anything comes of it. I don't have high hopes, but you never know. It'd be nice to do something, a little professional theater again. It's been a while since the last role I had that I got paid for. I like getting paid. I guess that's a sidewalk on the other side. It's hard to tell sometimes. I am a member of Canadian Actors Equity, so there's that. It doesn't really help in auditions, but in fact, I got my equity card doing a Globe show. I've only done two. It was the last one when Susan Furley was artistic director in 98, I think. Or somewhere along in there, sometime in the 90s. And I was in On Golden Pond. I played the boyfriend from California. He only has one scene. It's a good scene. Because clearly the focus is on the old coot, the old guy and his wife. much for my sidewalk. Now I have to switch to the sidewalk on the other side if I want to walk in front, which I do. I remember walking along here back in the spring when these cherry trees in front of me were in bloom. We're still a little ways from that. So if you've been walking with me, or if you go back and look, you can experience a full cycle of seasons here in Regina, Saskatchewan. Of course, a good half of that, it looks like this. Because the snow came in early November and hasn't gone anywhere. Melted a little from time to time. Came back. Okay, let's go up here to the front of the T.C. Douglas building, named of course after former Premier Tommy Douglas. Looks like a bunch of kids going in to the art gallery. Probably a daycare at that size of kid, which I won't point the camera at. But this is the main entrance. No particular reason, oh, maybe not. Depends on the shows. They don't always let you take pictures, so they certainly won't let you take videos. Okay, now we'll basically walk back the way we came, only a block further this way for most of it. It's a loading dock. I know, it's not exciting. There's the little better view of this side of the building. It's a very interesting design, very prairie. What would you say? Prairie metaphoric? Metaphor for the prairie. Prairie motif, maybe. Next is the Lloyd Building, also named after a former premier, Premier Lloyd. Huh. Walter, I think his name was. Yeah, this path has not been cleared, just beaten down. been in all these office buildings at some point, just not very often. I think it was the Environment Department was in here, and I did some writing for them. Way to place. There's its entrance. I see along here. Ooh, very icy. Up next is the Walter Scott Building, named after the first Premier of Saskatchewan, not to be confused with the poet, though both were Scottish. I walked on the back side of this building, coming down. Now you get to see the front. Rather dull building. It's a lot like the hospital I was born in Silver City, New Mexico. I've seen pictures of it. Had that same kind of brick and about the same size. This is probably bigger than that hospital was. That's why I don't walk over there. Too much traffic. Obviously that entrance is not original. It was added not that long ago for accessibility. Good morning. Okay, so up here we come to where I started going that direction, so I will go over to Albert Street now. And we'll cross the street and I'll go across on the main bridge. Across the ledge again, peeking up behind the trees. Won't cross here. This isn't even a pedestrian crossing. Either at the next one or at the bridge crossing. A very long straight piece of sidewalk here. Nice distance from the curb. I was walking next to the curb yesterday and a bus went by and splatted me with slush. I wasn't right up next to the curb either, but it sprayed the whole sidewalk. What can you do? It's not like you can run after them and yell at them. The light having just changed here, and this being a long light going the other way, I will probably go on down to the bridge. Well, I could walk down this side of the bridge. I don't do that very often. And then go under the underpass again. Could do that. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as they say. There's the ledge again. With its charming barricades. Our various health restrictions are lifted, so hopefully the barricades come down too, because there's nothing left to protest in Saskatchewan. Well, not related to that anyway. Well, except for the people that don't want to quit wearing masks. They're welcome to do so. Nobody's saying you can't wear a mask. It's just not public health order anymore. I will not wear them unless forced to myself, but anyone that wants to is welcome to. Looks like I missed the cross light here too, so maybe I'll just walk down the bridge on this side, up on top, instead of down by the creek, down by the lake. No, I'd rather cross. across here. Oh, here comes a ambulance maybe. Down Regina Avenue there. Some excitement for you. Somebody's day just got ruined. There's the bridge. Victoria Regina, it says on the corner. And that's the coat of arms for the province of Saskatchewan right there. Very nice terracotta balustrades. Unfortunately, they're always filthy dirty, of course, but over the bridge and through the crescents to our little house we go. There's the lake on that side, of course. The flags appear to be the Canadian flag and then the Queen's Platinum Jubilee flag. And there's a view of the creek. You can see a little cleared spot down there where people have been skating. Here comes a dog. And a jogger. There's these buffalo heads on each one of the lampposts. Bison heads. Some in better shape than others. Those ones are pretty good. Some of them are chipped. Okay. Speaker's corner over there, but we are going to the left. Almost home now. It's the house with the lions on the porch. Like the New York Public Library almost. And all of a sudden it's a lot quieter. That's why I don't walk along Albert Street very often. For very long. It's just too noisy. And yes, I know, that's hardly traffic compared to any really big city, but it's enough to be noisy. It's even noisier when there's moisture on the road. It adds to the sound content, noise content. How long have I been? 56, yeah, this will be almost exactly an hour. About 5 minutes from home. She's running, which I don't think is very safe. She's obviously late for something. I have a podcast interview today too with Richard Pale and Ellie. That's coming up at 11. So much to do. I needed staff, but there's only me. It's a shame none of it makes any money. That would be nice. Very little of it makes money, or it makes very little money, either or, so far. But one keeps hoping, keeps building, trying things, creating things, applying for grants, looking for freelance work. Practically there. Practically perfect in every way. Oh, that's Mary Poppins, not me. Oh well, you know, pretty darn close. And pretty much right at an hour. Yep, just went over 1 hour. Okay, we will stop here. So, thank you for watching, walking with me live or the recording. If you enjoy it, you can subscribe and then you'll get notified whenever I do this. You'll see that on the homepage. My page, I mean. And I'll be posting other videos as well there that you will see. So, again, thanks for walking with me and watching what I'm doing. And I'll be back tomorrow, I think. Bye for now.